Okay, welcome back, Year 6, Lesson 12. All right, we're continuing with something we did, I think it was Lesson 10 if I scroll back. Yeah, it was Lesson 10 when we're looking at... Where's the start of Lesson 10? Wow, we did loads, didn't we then? There we go. So we order in fractions, okay, and we were trying to identify which fraction was larger. Okay, so we're going to have a recap, and then you guys are going to do a couple more where you have to multiply or change both fractions, okay, into equivalent fractions. So for the recap, I've said 1/3 or 2/5, which is larger, okay, and I've given us a couple of steps to think about down here. So I've said let's get the denominators the same through multiplication. Okay, so we've got to get this 3 and this 5, okay, to both be the same, and we do that through multiplication. So I've said, and I've said whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator, so that's 0.2. Okay, but first of all, I need to think about how to get my denominators to be the same. All right, so I've written here in this box, or this circle, sorry, I need to find a multiple of 3 and 5. So if I count up in 3s and I count up in 5s, which is the first number that I land on, that both 3 and 5 land on? And it's 15, you can see I put it in already. Okay, so if we take this left-hand fraction first, a third, how do I get this 3 here to become 15? I multiply it by 5. And remember, whatever I do to the denominator, like I said at the top, I have to do to the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, so I've just found an equivalent fraction for a third, and it is 5/15. Now if I take my other fraction, my 2/5, again I need to get my denominator to be 15 so I can compare them easily. How do I get my 5 to become 15? Multiply it by 3. Do the same thing to the top. So 2 multiplied by 3, the numerator becomes 6/15. So now I can easily compare my two fractions because they're both over 15. And I've said which is larger. Well, 6/15 is larger than 5/15, which means that 2/3 is the largest fraction. Okay, so I've said now your turn. So I've given you 4 problems to solve. They shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes, okay? Remember, the 2 steps you need to think about are, you need to find a multiple for both your denominators. So again, this first one is easy because we know it's 15. So you need to turn 2/5 and 2/3 both into equivalent fractions over 15. Okay, and once you've done that, then you're able to compare the fractions. So you need to do it for all 4, and then we'll go through the answers together. So pause the screen now. Remember, go back if you need to see the explanation again. Okay, but work your way through them and then press play when you want to go through the answers, please. Okay, great. So how did I get this first fraction, 2/5, to become something over 15 and multiplied it by 3? So it became 6/15, and 2/3, I multiplied it by 5, which became 10/15. So which is the largest fraction? I'll circle them as 2/3. Okay, this next one, well, what is the first multiple of 3 and 4? It's 12. Okay, so how did I convert this denominator to become 12? I multiplied it by 4, so I need to do that to the top. And then this one, I had to multiply by 3. So if I do the same thing to the top, I get 3/12. So which is larger, a third or a quarter? It's a third. Okay, the next multiple for 7 and 3 is 21. So what did I multiply the first fraction by? It was by 3. So if I do the same thing to the top, I get 9/21. And then the second fraction I multiplied by 7. So I got 14/21. So you can see now, which would you rather have, 9 pieces of 21 or 14? You'd rather have 14, and that was equivalent to 2/3. And this last one, okay, I was really kind. It was my mistake as well. So you only had to convert one of these fractions. 3/4, the second fraction, could stay as that, couldn't it? But my half, I would multiply it by 2. And it would be 2/4, still a half, isn't it? So which of those is larger? It's 3/4. So your answers were, for the first one, it would have been 2/3. For your second one, 1/3. For your third, 2/3. And for the last one, 3/4. So there are your answers. Sorry for all the scribbles. Okay, like a little Picasso. I don't know when I get going. But yeah, well done for having a go at those. We're going to move on, I imagine, to something else tomorrow, but I just really wanted to make sure that you understood how to identify which fraction is larger. Okay, so well done for having a go with that, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.